Hey, and welcome to day 2 of the NCL Jade on our trip from San Diego to Cabo San Lucas. We have TBD on this trip. So yesterday was a lot of adventures, some good, some not so good. I'm going to tell you about them as we're walking to the room to get breakfast. But let's go ahead. Every day is a brand new day, so we're going to try to start again. So let's start again with a brand new day. We're going to go grab breakfast, go check out the spa, and then see how it goes. So today's a sea day, so a lot of what we're going to do is just exploring the ship, figuring out things to do. We are going to go to the spa because we did purchase a spa package, so we'll get some time there to enjoy. But really today's a lot of getting familiar with the ship, getting to see the venues, and seeing what onboard activities we have available to us. And I don't really have much planned, so it's going to be a free day. Every day's a new day. This is a cruise, and we're going to have a lot of fun. And yeah, I look like a mess because I have not taken a good shower. But it's still a nice day. The weather outside is dang near perfect. All right, so on the NCL Jade, guest services is on deck 7, which is weird for me. I don't know, I'm not used to that being the case. So we're gonna go over to deck 7, talk about this, and I believe we can have a positive outcome. So let's go ahead, get in line. We're perusing through the art gallery to go down to deck 6 to the Grand Pacific. Did not get a resolution at the guest services desk, so we're still working on that. You can hear my flip-flops. Now for breakfast, you have a couple of options. You can go to Alizar, we were going to. You can go to the buffet. I suppose you could technically go to Oceans. But we're gonna go to Grand Pacific, which is where I had lunch, which you would know if I had not accidentally deleted my footage. But yeah, we're gonna go to Grand Pacific, sit down for breakfast. So I like to do main dining for breakfast instead of the buffet just because it's a lot calmer. So I went to Grand Pacific and I'm gonna try something today, which is I had heard that if you order a second entree, they charge you for it now at NCL. So this is one of my favorite items to get, which is this egg and avocado wrap. I tried to get a second one, but he just didn't understand what I was asking for. And honestly, it just wasn't worth trying to work my way through it. So let's go. I figured this would be a good opportunity to go upstairs and check out the buffet anyway, since I want to show you what that looks like on a sea day. So let's finish this. Breakfast was good, and let's go check out the buffet up on deck 12. So this is going to take us to the back of the ship, where you can grab a seat. There are some of the parts of the buffet that are open. And hey, what a nice day it is. Okay, there's a reason that I prefer sitting down in the dining, and that is the buffet energy. The buffet energy is like very intense right now. It's very loud, as you can hear, and just a lot of people moving back and forth. It's considerably easier and considerably faster than sitting down for breakfast. However, as you can see, that's a trade-off with how busy it is and the relative lack of calm compared to a sit-down restaurant. So I grabbed an extra couple of muffins, and that'll do for breakfast today. We're going to stop by guest services one more time, and then we're going to go to the spa. It's very relaxing out on the pool deck this morning. People are just grabbing a chair. It's a little bit windy, but it's not crazy. I just noticed the hot tub is completely empty, so that's kind of interesting. And we'll go over all of these locations and places during our full ship tour. All right, so back up on deck 12, on the other side is the spa, and now we're gonna go check that out.
Okay, it would be both kind of odd and rude to film in the spa while there are other people there. So this is footage from our spa review, which was filmed while the spa was closed. So this was part of my routine every day. I enjoyed going to the spa to relax and to have some quiet time. It was fun. So you'll see us going through the spa on the Norwegian Bliss in an upcoming trip, and I'm excited to see the difference and compare and contrast between the spa on this very old ship and the new updated, relatively new updated spa on the Bliss, which just went through another dry dock. So that'll be fun to kind of compare and contrast, but it's such a nice day outside. So if you go on a Mexican Riviera on a Norwegian or really any cruise ship, you're going to have this sort of first sea day because you're getting from the United States to Mexico. I really encourage you to take this time and really deeply familiarize yourself with the ship. If you really spend a lot of time immersing yourself, understanding where things are, that helps you through the rest of your cruise to move around quicker. You might see things that you then want to add to your itinerary. You might see little hidden gems or little spots. You might find the spots where things are a little bit calmer and quieter, but it also just helps your brain map out where the ship is actually at. And it's going to help you for the rest of your voyage just to know how to get where you're going quicker, how to see things you might not normally notice until you happen to pass by them. But since we're getting ready to head into lunchtime after the spa, let's go check out the trade winch, which is the store area of the ship. We're at sea, so that affords you certain like shopping bonuses, sometimes like tax-free, that sort of thing. And they also have like lots of sales on sea days, so let's check that out.
And the atrium is bopping. As we go to lunch, let's go ahead and grab another drink at Mixers Martini and Cocktail Bar. Although, even though it's a martini bar, I'm gonna grab my favorite beer.
So for lunch, I could have gone to the buffet, I could have gone to Ocean's, but I ended up back at Grand Pacific, which is kind of my go-to main dining restaurant. And the reason for that is it's really big and the service was pretty quick. It's a really interesting, this is video from a different day, but it's interesting, a cruise ship, they always have to do maintenance all the time and the ship is always moving. So sometimes that might mean painting something in the middle of the night. Nonetheless, for lunch on this day 2, I decided to go to Grand Pacific, sit down, have a great lunch.
So we're at the back of the ship. I've got I picked a Caesar salad, a spinach Caesar salad, and a Monte Cristo sandwich. And check out this view. I know people love to go to the buffet on a cruise ship, but the reality is that main dining rooms are really great options, and I would highly recommend them for your sit-down meals for breakfast, lunch, and obviously for dinner. So I'm beginning to understand why people say they don't like to go on transatlantics, because this is a lot of sea days. And during the sea days, there's not as much to do as I'm used to on a cruise. There is a 2 o'clock wine tasting with cheese pairing that we're going to check out that's in La Bistro. And we do have a reservation at La Bistro later today. If you like cruising just because you like being around fancy things like this decor, which is really nice, that's okay. You don't have to do something all day long and be constantly like barraged with things to do. Sometimes it's nice just to feel like you're in an elegant surrounding that you don't normally get to do. So that's a little bit of what I'm doing today, right now.
All right, so there's an art auction or information event happening in the Bliss, so we can go check that out if you'd like. A lot of people really enjoy the art experience on a cruise ship. It's just not for me. I had a bad experience on Sapphire Princess, and it really turned me away from buying art on a cruise ship. But some people really enjoy it, and it's part of their experience.
So I learned you actually can't film the bridge. There's a sign that says no filming the captain and the crew. So we didn't. So you'll have to come on the Norwegian Jade and see for yourself. In the meantime, I decided to go to Spinnaker on, I think, deck 13. Let's find out. Where's Spinnaker? Yeah, deck 13. We're going to go to Spinnaker and watch that presentation about West Coast sailing. One deck up. All right, here we go. We're at Spinnaker Lounge at 2 o'clock on day 2 to learn about more West Coast sailings with Norwegian, which even though I've been having a challenging time, obviously I still love Norwegian. So in 5 minutes, it starts. This is like an observation lounge on the Bliss or any breakaway class. It's one of the biggest observation lounges I've seen on this sort of jewel class of ship.
We talk about free OBC. So OBC stands for onboard credit. That's right. So we do give up to $1,000 onboard credit towards anything and everything off of your bill for this cruise, and that includes.
Okay, so that was the presentation on West Coast sailings that was brought to you by the Cruise Next team. If you've never been to a Cruise Next presentation, I would say go to at least one, because you do learn a lot of the good tips and tricks about saving money and how you can really maximize that. It's also just a straight 1 hour sales session, so you're just, it's 10% informational, 90% selling. And it was good to see, but if you can look up, cruises on the internet, you really don't need to go to that presentation. Go to a Cruise Next presentation at least one time, and you'll learn a little bit about how that works. So now I think it's time to grab some coffee, because I'm feeling tired, and I do have a big dinner reservation tonight.
And this is why I choose to get the spa package, because the crowded pool is just not my scene. A lot of people really love that. A lot of people love to catch some sun and socialize by the pool. That's just not for me. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy us steaming towards Cabo San Lucas for a little bit, get a walk around the top of deck 12.
Now I'm getting some steps in around the walking track. This guy right here's playing golf. Bam! The afternoon sunset hitting the water is absolutely beautiful. I'm trying to save my my dining for tonight, because I do have Cagney's, but maybe we'll grab a little snack at the buffet. What do you think? Some coffee cake? Or carrot cake? Or maybe a cheese scone? Okay, so after the Cruise Next sales presentation / informational section, then we got some coffee at the Garden Café, and I lost my daily. So now we need to go either get my phone or get another copy of the daily. I've resisted my temptation to go eat at the buffet today because I have a 5:30 dining appointment, but I have to admit they do run it very well, and it's just something to check out. So my channel is not sponsored by or promoted by Norwegian in any way, but one of the things I really love is their 66 brand of alcohol. So on this ship they have an ale, but they also have a ton of other like mixed drinks that are basically the spirit of their founding. They're called the 66 line. On this ship I've been absolutely chugging the 66 ale, and they're playing kind of an advertisement behind us right now, which is kind of fun. So if you're interested, I highly recommend the 6 brand. Let's go get that daily. So again, one of the things that I really understand why people don't like doing transatlantic sailings is because if the ship doesn't have a lot of things to do, you're just kind of, it's really up to you. So that's kind of my first big lesson on day 2 of sailing on the NCL Jade. In addition to hoping that the room situation gets fixed, is like, how do I actually figure out what I want to do? Because my options until the event at 5:30 are, it's a lot of things where they're just selling you things. So I could be sold on the spa, which I already have. I could go to a basketball tournament, which I don't want to go to. I could go to some music for a little bit at the pool, but you already saw how that was. I could go to a ping pong tournament. Not for me. Or I could take another lesson on how to get rid of my wrinkles at the spa, which is, again, selling me something. So from now until the Latitude event, which is at 5:30, which is interestingly not on the agenda, it's just either I'm on my own, or I can eat or go to the pool, or I can be sold something by the cruise line. Okay, so what I decided to do with this time between now and the Latitudes event, which I'll tell you about when we get there, is go grab a different camera and get you some much more high quality video of the ship for a different video. So if you're not already interested, you actually have probably already seen that if you're watching this video. But let me get you up to speed on day 2 of why this has been rough in terms of my room. So I haven't really talked about it yet, but I'm kind of over the last night experience. But here's what happened. So when I got to my room yesterday, the sheets had stains on them. So they switched out the sheets. My room steward is very nice. He's doing everything he can. It doesn't have anything to do with him. But I got to my room rather late last night. And when I really got to my room, really started to get settled in, I really noticed that the room was very, very dirty. We're talking like it had like there was like hairs in the drawers and garbage everywhere, and the mirrors had stains on them. The cabinets had stains on them, and the shower was not cleaned at all. So much so that there was a rusty razor blade in the shower, which probably means it hasn't been cleaned in a long time. So I was trying to deal with that last night, and I tried to get an officer to the front, or from the front to the room, to escalate my feedback. Well, apparently I was lied to. Someone lied to me last night and said that there was not an officer on duty at night, which I actually already knew is false. So I had a whole thing last night where I spent from about 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock just trying to get to talk to someone about the room so I could get in a better condition. And then on top of that, I had no hot water last night. So after a long day, I came back to the room feeling kind of dirty already from traveling, all that stuff. I just wanted to take a shower, and there was no hot water. So I had to take a very fast, very cold shower. I don't understand why it hasn't been resolved, but I'm trying to make the best of it. It feels more like I'm camping in this room. Like I feel like I'm camping outside. I know that probably seems dramatic. So I'll keep you posted on that as we go throughout the cruise. I'm in a much better mood than I thought I would be about it, if you want me to be really honest with you. But still, I think it's kind of unacceptable. All right, so we're back. It's 5:30. I got some B-roll footage like I was hoping to get. And I actually don't think I needed coffee. I think I needed water. So I hydrated, and now we're actually going to the Latitudes event, which I am late for. So let's try to go over this way. Yeah, let's go this way.
So Norwegian's loyalty program is called Latitudes. As you sail more, you get invited to more and more exclusive events based on your tier status. But if you've cruised at least once, you're likely going to be able to come to a Latitudes event on the second day or maybe the third or fourth day, where they just tell you more, they say thank you, there's drinks, all those kinds of things. But do check with the cruise next desk because they're kind of the stewards, if you will, of the Latitudes program. This particular event was very nice. It was they had drinks, they had a nice little presentation from some members of the crew, and you got to meet some regular cruisers, which I think is a good thing to do.
And now we're going to deck 13 to get to CAGNEYS. We technically have 2 minutes, although technically it's probably 2 minutes plus 15, we'll find out, because we have a reservation at 6:30 for CAGNEYS. So I'll also give you a full review of CAGNEYS on the channel as well, but CAGNEYS is my all-time favorite restaurant in NCL. Not been to CAGNEYS yet, so I have to find CAGNEYS for my 6:30 dining time. If you're late for your dining time, I believe it's it's 10 to 15 minutes. If you're late, they charge you. Wow, look at that sunset, by the way. I missed that. So CAGNEYS is my favorite restaurant in all of NCL. I love how they wear the white jackets, like you're in a movie in the 50s or something. I'm going to do a full review for you here as we go through this. But I made it just in time for my reservation, and I thought it was kind of nice. They knew my name when I came up to the door. I appreciated that. That made me feel like a valued customer. So CAGNEYS is a specialty dining restaurant, and they've got an open-air kitchen here on the NCL Jade. It looks very nice, clean and new. The tables are clean, the restaurant is clean, everything is running very, very well in my opinion. At CAGNEYS, you're going to have the option of getting an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert. Your entree comes with 2 sides, so you'll have things like potatoes, French fries, mushrooms, that sort of thing. cream spinach, and then of course a dessert. I'm using my specialty dining credit for this one tonight, so we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna have the crab cake and the iceberg wedge as my appetizers, and TBD on the entree. And my first item has arrived, which is a crab cake, and it looks great. It's always a winner. I can almost guarantee you exactly how it's going to taste because I get it every time at Cagney's. But as you can see, it's plated very well, and it was delivered less than 5 minutes after I ordered it. All right, so for the second appetizer, I had a wedge salad. I got a little bit behind on my review because I ended up talking to my neighbors, which is uncharacteristic of me. So the wedge looks great. I promise you I'll finish it all. Beautiful plating, quick service. Only slowed down by my talkative self, which is not typical of me. Okay, after the wedge salad, we got the filet mignon, which got a little grilled potato on the side with the house sauce, broccoli, and mushrooms. Usually I get a baked potato, but I've been eating so much that I was like, nah, let's try to pretend we're being conservative in the food department. So let's cut into it. The filet mignon was spectacular. The mushrooms are good. The only thing that was amiss tonight was the broccoli. It was just literally steamed broccoli. Like, literally steamed broccoli. But everything else is good. So, I don't know how many stars. You pick the number of stars, and I'll give you the max number. So 5 out of 5, 6 out of 6, 10 out of 10. It was a good dining experience. Significantly elevated from the main dining room experience. Good stuff all around.
All right, so it feels like we got a lot done on our first sea day. We got a good tour of the ship. We got ourselves oriented. We're getting that room ship shape and taken care of. We got to go to Cagney's, which is my personal favorite on any NCL ship. And it's starting to really turn out to be sink-in mode. We're getting synced in with our vacation. And let me just take this moment in the back of the ship at night to tell you how much I appreciate you following along, watching these videos, and interacting with the channels. If there's things you want to know about cruising or Norwegian, please let me know. I'm here to help. I want to provide this material to make your cruise an exceptional cruise. And that was probably one thing I noticed about this cruise is I finally started to meet people who know us from the channel, and it's been very valuable to just genuinely provide useful insights about your cruising experience. If I can make your cruise better or we can learn together, that's what this is all about. So, I just want to take this time to say thank you for that. And of course, if you're not yet subscribing, I'm going to ask you to do that right now.
So I'm technically 2 levels above the pool now, but believe it or not, there is still one more level we can go. And I actually think this is comically funny. It's a giant shower fixture, and I was talking to someone, we were trying to use it earlier, and you don't use either of the big ones, you use the normal shower one right in the middle. That's very apropos of Norwegian Cruise Line. I still think it's funny. So we're gonna go all the way over to the actual top of the ship. So let's go up. I'm just gonna soak in the night, I think. Try to get to the 8:30 show. Who knows what happens after that? Well, that was a precarious moment. I felt the slip. And this is as high as we can get on the ship, and it's pitch black outside. Before we go to the theater, there is a not so newlywed game in Spinnaker.
And hopefully you don't ask me to come up here again.
Really nice, Christy.
Well, I'll say
My grand total of gambling on the ship has been $4, and the ship took all $4 from me. But we're on deck 6 to go to the theater for the 8:30 show. the Stardust. We made it in plenty of time. And you know, watching the Not So Newlywed Game, of course now, I just miss my wife, who's not here with me. Honestly, this cruise is not even half as much fun. It's 20% as fun as it could be without her. So, yeah, next time. The theater is pretty packed already for the 8:30 show. But there's still plenty of seating. So let's find a spot, grab a seat, and enjoy the 8:30 show.
All right, so while we're waiting for the show, they did this like very shameless plug to sell pull tabs. And I gotta say, this is something that happens a lot on Norwegian where they will just try to sell you anytime they can. And it doesn't work. First of all, nobody bought the pull tabs. Not one single person bought the pull tabs. And I just wonder, Norwegian, is it worth alienating your paying customers who are just trying to enjoy a theater show and just to try to force them into buying something? Anyway, the 8:30 show was a pretty good show. I enjoyed it, and I thought it was worth entertainment. I'm going to be honest with you, the onboard entertainment on a smaller, older ship like this is not going to compare to what you might find on a brand new ship, or even now, Norwegian has significantly scaled back its onboard entertainment and production quality shows. I think that's part of what you're paying for now in the niche that Norwegian is in, but I wonder how much total money they're saving and if they're alienating long-term customers who might be going to a Royal Caribbean for the entertainment specifically. I think they've missed that decision. Okay, nice try, casino. You're not getting any more of my money. The $4 is all you're going to take from me on this ship. A lot of times when we do go on an NCL ship, they will have a tournament of some kind, like a slot tournament or a blackjack tournament. And so sometimes we will indulge in that. But I'm not going to do that on this ship. Instead, what I think I'm going to do tonight is go to what is quickly becoming my favorite spot on the ship, which is this hub on deck 6, where you have 3 bars, La Bistro, and the cigar lounge around live music. Some of the best live music on the ship. I actually think the live music in this little sort of mini atrium on deck 6 significantly outperformed the entertainment on the ship. That's my honest review. On day 2 already, the live music in this section is better than the production shows. Plus, you get to meet and chat with people and have some good drinks. Like, it's a really nice spot. I spent a lot of time in this space.
Three, two, one. So we recently posted a video about tipping, specifically tipping on Norwegian cruise, and I will tell you that I know tipping is a hot topic, but when you take care of your bartenders, they get to remember you, they know your name. And when I went up to the bar tonight, there was a 66 waiting for me, which you know I love, but that's actually not what I was trying to get. I was trying to get this cucumber basil drink, which I got, even though unfortunately there's no basil. It's a martini, which is not usually my forte, but I'm gonna go ahead and try it. The bar menus are pretty comprehensive. So one thing I would recommend when you go on Norwegian is do take a good look at the bar menu. Try something new. The spiked whiskey's pretty fun. But yeah, cheers. So the ultimate question now is, do I try again to do karaoke, which is in 20 minutes at 10:15 in the Bliss Lounge, or do I go to bed? Last night I put my name in, and I didn't get to go up because the list was very long. So if I go now, perhaps I could get my name in early and go early, and then go to bed reasonably early-ish. We don't have to be up till 10 o'clock tomorrow. That's when we leave to go off the ship. And my ship time, you're just going to have to tune in tomorrow because I'm taking the most dangerous excursion possible. The excursion ends at 6, and I'm supposed to be on the last tender at 6. So in theory, everything's going to work out fine. But in theory, it could also work out tragically, and I could end up missing the ship. And I'm doing it all just for you, for following. And if you're not following, I'm literally taking the most dangerous excursion. Why wouldn't you follow me to find out? So please consider subscribing. And now that I've talked about it, I guess we're going to go ahead and try to do karaoke one more time.
We did, in fact, do karaoke, but you're not going to see it here on the sail away. However, if we're ever together on the same ship, why don't you come up and say hi and let's grab our favorite song together? I think we accomplished a lot today. And this ship is not like any ship I've been on before. I think we're learning how to adjust to this different style of cruising on an older ship where you spend more time socializing and enjoying and relaxing than you do playing the big roller coasters and rides. Cruising has different shapes, sizes, and formats, and we're starting to learn that on this ship. Tomorrow, we're going to pull into Cabo San Lucas. We have a lot on the agenda for Cabo, but we have an especially precarious excursion that I'm excited to see if they leave us behind on the ship. So why don't you join us tomorrow for day 3 of our Mexican Riviera adventures on the Norwegian Jade. We'll see you tomorrow in Cabo San Lucas. Thanks for checking out the Sail Away.